thank you again. We continue in a pastoral epistle to the Philippians, the book of Philippians, the church of Philippi. And we're in chapter 2. We begin with verse 10, navigating our salvation. So that at the time Jesus, every knee will bow, of those who are in heaven and on the earth, under the earth, and that every tongue will confess that Jesus Christ is Lord, to the glory of the God our Father. So then, my beloved, just as you have always obeyed, not as in my presence only, but now much more in my absence, work out your salvation with fear and trembling. For it is God who is at work in you, both to will and to work for his good pleasure, navigating our salvation. You know, Paul continues after he talks about this mind of Christ emptying ourselves, you know, and the fact that when we empty ourselves, we can have expectation that God's going to exalt us, because that emptying means just the opposite, basically, of being exalted. But God does that, and then he gives us an extraordinary name for so doing. So now we see Paul continues that every knee's going to bow, because we're doing this. Watch this, because that name is so high. Every tongue's going to confess Jesus Christ. So then, my beloved, just as you have always obeyed, not as in my presence only, but now much more in my absence, work out your salvation with fear and trembling, because Christ is at the head. Now, a lot of people think that means work for your salvation. You know, I suppose you could do that if you wanted to, but I love the term navigating your salvation. You could very well translate that. Well, what does that mean? Look what he says in the following verse. For it is God who is at work in you, both to will and to work for his good pleasure. And that is this thing of our salvation. You see, because he just got through talking about the fact that, you know, if it was up to us, we wouldn't be emptying ourselves at all. But the fact that God is working a work within us, and that as we are saved, we're constantly moving to and fro in our lives, you know, being pushed on and being pulled and being tugged and being hit and then being freed, and every one of those things as we move forward, you know, navigating this thing of salvation to God's great pleasure, to his will. We navigate. We don't work for salvation, but we do navigate our salvation through it and upon it, day by day, living this life. Amen.